Howdy everybody, and welcome back to my Multiversus picks, and this is part 5. If you haven't seen the other 4 parts, go check them out. And if you enjoy this content, consider subscribing. Let's get started. So, in the last video I talked about, the first character that we'll be covering today is Willy Wonka. So Willy Wonka is just human, that's all he is. He has nothing special, he's not a hero or anything. He's just human. His ring out is the boat that the boat that's in the movie, and the Wonka bar, and then he is a mage. So one of his big abilities is whenever hitting enemies, like how Finn drops coins, Willy Wonka will start to drop Wonka wrappers, and if he gets 7 Wonka wrappers, he gets a golden ticket, which changes his neutral special. His normal neutral special actually just gives him a shield buff, but with the golden ticket, it gives him a shield buff, 15 gray health, and stuns opponents nearby for 2 seconds. His first perk lets him only need 5 wrappers instead of 7, and the second perk is one of his moves, which is chocolate sauce, stuns opponents as well. His skins are Mr. Wonka, which is a rare, and Willy Wonka 2005, which is an epic. Number 22 is Smurf from Too Many Cooks / Infomercials. I chose Smurf on this list because Too Many Cooks is a very good short from infomercials, and Smurf was just the most iconic character from it other than the cannibal. The ring out was actually the cannibal, and the icon is also the cannibal. And I had to cut off Shaggy's legs for this part, sadly. Sorry, Shaggy. A lot of Smurf's attacks are normal, except for his rainbow attack, which he does have some rainbow attacks. And there's also the jetpack that's used at 3 minutes and 33 seconds in the Too Many Cooks episode for infomercials. And basically, Smurf is just all-around mage. He's nothing special. His first perk lets his rainbows 92% more knockback, and his second perk lets his lasers deal fire damage. And his only other skin is Bloody Smurf. Although you could do the Robot Smurf, there were no images for Robot Smurf I could find, sadly. Number 23 is Neapolitan from RWBY. She's personally my favorite character from RWBY, and she's not the best villain, in my opinion she is. Although Cinder is the better villain for this pick, I chose Neo because she could be a very interesting take on characters in this game. And she's non-talkative, so that would be interesting. And as you can see next to Shaggy, she's actually a very short character for a human, obviously. One of her big abilities is being able to take off the umbrella from her blade, and since she can take off that umbrella, she has a couple things she can do with it. When she has the umbrella on, she can have a move that actually deflects projectiles, but does less damage, and moves slower. But there is a 25% chance to have failure to deflect. But if she does have her blade on, the umbrella off, and just her blade, she moves faster and does more damage. Her first perk allows her to automatically recall her umbrella once she actually tosses her umbrella piece away. And her second perk allows her to have 100% deflecting projectiles when using the deflecting ability. Her skins are Had Neo, which is an uncommon, and New Self Neo, which is a rare. Number 24 is Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, and he would be an assassin. Scorpion is definitely needed in this game because of his favoritism in the Mortal Kombat community, and he's also the most iconic character from the series. Sub-Zero could also work in the game, although I have not put Sub-Zero on my list anywhere. One of his iconic moves is obviously his chain, so one of his moves is definitely his chain, and him yelling, "Get over here," and it also actually brings the opponents near him. He also has his down special, which is his feet catching fire, letting him move quickly right through the opponents like Fox and Falco's move in Smash Bros. His first perk lets his whip deal fire damage. Every time he uses his whip chain, it deals fire damage. And his second perk lets his Firefoot travel go anywhere, go to where his 3-second fire is, which is one of his moves. He has a 3-second fire placed down, and no matter the distance. His skins are Skull Scorpion, which is an epic, Infrared Scorpion, which is an epic, and True Warrior Scorpion, which is a legendary. Number 25 is Courage the Cowardly Dog, and I personally actually had a hard time thinking about how courage could work, since he doesn't really fight or actually show much in the show from himself, but I made it work. So his neutral special is using his computer to search how to win the battle, and doing this for 5 seconds gives him a new neutral special. He has 3 different neutrals. His first being him getting buff and doing high knockback punch. His second is his teeth growing large and biting down the opponent. And the third is putting on a mask to scare opponents, silencing them and stunning them for 1.5 seconds, although all moves are randomized. He has no skins, and his first perk lets his neutral specials not be randomized. The first would be the buff punch, second is the bite, and the third is the mask. And his second perk lets his screen stun for 1 second, or my bad. It's a screen. Stun for 2 seconds. That says 1, it's supposed to say 2, I'm sorry. 26 is the spies from Spy vs. Spy, which is they are from the show Mad TV, and they would be pretty fun in the game, also acting as another Tom and Jerry-esque ice climber duel character. So yet again, if just like the ice climbers, black is the backup. If black is not present, the abilities are now weaker. So all the abilities are still the same, except now they're just weaker. Although the first break allows Black Spy to come back faster now when you're using bomb attacks. And the second gives you 10 gray health when Black dies. And the only skin is Boxing Spies, which is an uncommon. Number 27 is Rob from The Amazing World of Gumball. Gumball is actually later on this list. He is one of the later characters. And Rob was actually one of the big main villains of The Amazing World of Gumball, and I would actually be pretty happy to see him in this villain season. And he's just the average bruiser. One of his abilities is actually summoning the Awesome Store to actually run through opponents, and also he can spill oil on the ground, which if any fire damage hits the oil, then the oil catches fire for a while. His first perk lets the Awesome Store now drop items while moving across the map, and the second perk makes the flames from the oil higher. His skins are Before Deletion Rob, which is an epic, and Dr. Wrecker, which is a legendary. Number 28 is the Animaniacs. They're the actual mascots of Warner Brothers, and it just makes sense to add them. They're literally the Warner Brothers and the Warner sister. So there's Yakko, Wacko, and Dot. Most of the neutrals, like neutrals, and the sides are mostly from Wacko. The ups are mostly Yakko. My bad. The sides are Yakko, the ups are Wacko, and most of the downs are Dot. The first perk lets Wacko's tongue now deal ice damage, which those are all of Wacko's attacks. And the second perk lets the stop sign, which is one of the abilities, stun for 2.5 seconds. The skins are the Rebooted Animaniacs, which is an epic Old Days Animaniacs, which is a slightly more saturated color, or whatever you call it, a slightly darker toned down color, which is an uncommon. The Olympianacs, which is a rare, and the Animaniacs, which is the anime form, which is an epic. The rebooted Animaniacs, though, are highly unlikely to get in the game because of the issues with getting Hulu to actually give the permission to Warner Brothers to use these outfits. Number 29 is Lord Vortek from LEGO Dimensions. LEGO Dimensions was one of the biggest games for Toys to Life, and although Skylanders was easily bigger, LEGO Dimensions was still one of the funnest LEGO games, and is my personal favorite LEGO game. He actually uses the keystones, which he's the Locate, Creation, and Elemental keystone, and if you are a Fantastic Beasts fan, you can see that Thunderbird down, or whatever it's called. I personally never watched the series, but this was one of the things in the game, so yeah, I'm sorry. A lot of his things are used with the keystones, so if you want to read it now, you can. And his first perk letting him travel through his portals, now giving him and teammates a 3.5% buff every time going through, but it doesn't stack. And his second perk lets his beam not knock back opponents, but instead leave them in the beam and still doing more damage. So they would be stuck in the beam and they would be dealt all the damage. And number 30 is Totoro from My Neighbor Totoro. We need some Studio Ghibli representation, and Totoro is just the perfect representative. The bring out is actually just bunnies from Spirited Away. And obviously Cat Bus is here. So one of Totoro's big things is actually using Cat Bus. And over time, Totoro actually has a meter that will go up where he gets a new version of the Cat Bus side special, where Cat Bus will run into the opponents, grab them, shake them for 3 seconds, and then disappear. His first break lets rain droplets fall when Totoro is gliding, and his second lets his bunnies now deal poison. So here are some more skins. Some more skins are Joker, which is the Isekai Joker, the Gummy Guard for the Banana Guard, Marvin the Marvelous, which is a legendary, Robot Rick, which is an epic, giving him also the non-human trait, Mortybot, which is a rare, also giving him the non-human trait, Yokai Taz, which is an epic, also giving him the villainous trait, Prisoner Bugs, which is a rare, Sir Hotbod for Finn, which is an epic, Joshua, which is a rare, Remnant Superman, which is an epic and gives him the Ruby attribute, and Remnant Wonder Woman, which is epic, also giving her the Ruby attribute. Now, this is a roster of 56 characters. All of the Multiversus characters and all the characters I've made on my list. As you can see, crud, what the heck? Sorry, as you can see, there's every character right there. That's Arya, Banana Guard, Banana Splits, Batman, Black Adam, Bugs Bunny, Captain Caveman, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Cowardly Lion, Emmett, Finn, Gamamon, Garnet, Gizmo, Godzilla, Gwimbly, Harley Quinn, Iron Giant, Jake, Jason, King Shark, LeBron James, Lion-O, Luffy, Lord Vortex, Marvin, Mordecai and Rigby, Morty, Neo, Peppermint Butler, The Player, or just Player, Rain Dog, Rick, Rob, Robot Chicken, Ruby, Scarecrow, Scorpion, Shaggy, Smurf, Spy vs. Spy, Stan Smith, Steven Universe, Stripe, Superman, Taz, the Animaniacs, the Joker, Tom and Jerry, Totoro, Uncle Ruckus, Velma, Wile E. Coyote, Willy Wonka, Wonder Woman, and Xavier. Those are all the characters so far. That is 56 characters. That is 30 new characters. So if you did enjoy this, please come back if you want, because this is only part 5. So there will be lots more to come. So see you next time. And the first character you'll see is No Face from Spirited Away.